55. It's a milestone, a number that can feel like a sentence. But what if that number, that seemingly immutable marker of time, is just a chapter heading and not the final page? What if the story you've been living, shaped by beliefs ingrained since childhood, is actually a work in progress ripe for rewriting? For years I believed I was doing my best, burning the candle at both ends, yet the results were stale, like running on a treadmill. Exhausting effort, zero progress. Sound familiar? That gnawing frustration of feeling stuck, despite years of experience and seemingly Herculean effort. I know it intimately. I was drowning in debt, earning peanuts while owing a fortune. 18 months of saving every penny wouldn't even scratch the surface. A dead end, a bleak, inescapable reality. But here's the truth. Your bank account doesn't lie. Your energy levels don't lie. That gut feeling when you wake up, joy or dread, it's all brutally honest. Your life's a mirror reflecting your inner world, whether you like what you see or not. And for far too long I avoided the reflection. I blamed external factors, waiting for some magical outside force to change my circumstances. But life doesn't work that way. Change starts within. It's not about battling the mirror, it's about changing what's in front of it. The key realization? It doesn't matter if you're 25, 35, or 55. Until you reprogram your internal operating system, your ingrained beliefs and self-limiting paradigms, the results will remain the same. Have you noticed how many people hit 55 and are still playing out the same old financial, emotional, and physical loops they've been stuck in for decades? It's not a lack of effort or intelligence, it's a subconscious script running on repeat. Life keeps score, and the scoreboard doesn't lie. So ask yourself, am I truly living the life I want, or have I settled for less? Many at 55 or beyond stop asking. They've accepted the narrative, but I'm telling you it's never too late. This is the time to view those seemingly unchangeable results as clues, signals pointing to the need for an internal overhaul. That's when I finally cracked the code. I stopped avoiding the uncomfortable truth, the stark reality mirrored in my circumstances. I realized that those seemingly insurmountable obstacles weren't immutable facts. They were simply the consequence of my programming. The results you see today aren't a life sentence. They're a roadmap of your past conditioning. They show you how you've been programmed. You can change that. But first, you must honestly admit that your current reality isn't what you deserve. When you embrace that truth, something extraordinary happens. You realize you're in control. Because if your results are a reflection of your inner world, then changing your internal landscape transforms the external one. Even after decades of living the same pattern, you can suddenly break free and generate completely different outcomes. Your bank balance can change, your energy can change, your mornings can change, but nothing changes until you confront your present reality and say, "These results don't define me. They merely reflect who I was. They don't dictate who I'll become." This isn't about some magical overnight transformation. It's about consciously rewiring your subconscious programming. It's about recognizing the invisible force, the paradigm that shapes your choices, your income, your mood, your health, everything. It's unsettling to admit, but we spend decades living out a script written in childhood, often below our level of conscious awareness. School teaches knowledge, but not paradigm reprogramming. Hence, intelligent people often underperform, leading to confusion and frustration. That tightness in your chest when you think, "I know, but I don't do." That's your paradigm in action. The conscious mind thinks, chooses, accepts, or rejects information. See a headline about economic downturn. You can choose to reject it, to say, "Maybe for others, not for me." But most don't. They allow the information to flow unchecked into the subconscious, which absorbs and repeats, strengthening the program through repetition and emotion. And because the subconscious doesn't distinguish between reality and imagination, mental images of scarcity, illness, and fear, when charged with emotion, begin to direct your actions as if they were facts. How many times has simply seeing a problem unfold created that very scenario? This program starts early. As a baby, everything enters the subconscious unfiltered. Add to this genetic programming, family beliefs and behaviors, and the self-image you formed before you were even self-aware. And you have a powerful cocktail of ingrained patterns. At 55 or beyond, you see these patterns clearly. The win-lose cycle, the self-sacrifice, the delayed self-care, the postponed dreams, all symptoms of your paradigm at work. Without clear objectives, we become strangely loyal to our daily routines until we become their slaves. It hurts to hear, but it explains decades of pointless striving. We confuse mental activity with thought. Thinking is a skill, not an automatic process. At 55 plus, it often shows up as ingrained phrases. It's always been this way. I'm not capable. I'm too old to start. Stop and observe. Would you say those things if you were truly thinking? This is a profound distinction, a key to unlocking your potential. Try this. Eliminate distractions. Breathe. Ask yourself, 1. What limiting beliefs about money and age did I inherit? 2. When do I know better, but still do worse? 3. What daily information am I allowing the subconscious to absorb unfiltered? Writing the answers begins to shed light on the invisible program. At 55, you have the advantage of experience to recognize patterns quickly and the courage to say, enough. After years of studying the mind, I journeyed to hear an expert on paradigms. What should have been a 2-hour conversation stretched into 3 days. It was a simple model of the mind, conscious, subconscious, body, that finally explained why highly knowledgeable people achieve insignificant results. Behavior follows the paradigm, not knowledge. This clarity was transformative. Ever have a moment when a simple explanation reshaped everything? That was mine. Common objections at 55 plus. What if I lack energy? What if my family doesn't support me? What if it's too late? These are conscious thoughts. You can reject and replace them. How a 7-day mental diet. No sensationalist news, no negative conversations. Twice daily, read 3 new affirmations aloud, e.g., I manage money calmly and clearly. My body responds well to simple routines. I choose relationships that uplift me. Close your eyes for 2 minutes, visualizing yourself executing these. Repetition plus emotion plus imagery. The subconscious doesn't distinguish between vivid images and reality. For 14 days, practice this. Morning, write 3 old beliefs and their new counterparts. Afternoon, practice reject, accept. Mentally reject fear narratives and replace with useful facts. Evening, review your day, marking a check when you acted according to new beliefs. Aim for frequency, not perfection. You'll be surprised how quickly things change when you stop reinforcing the old program and intentionally feed the new. Why does this work so well after 55? Maturity reduces the need for external validation and increases the openness to truth. You look at the facts of your life without disguise and say, enough, I choose. When that choice repeats, the paradigm yields. Externally, life may seem like luck, clearer opportunities, more energy, better money management. It's not luck, it's the right program running. If results echo the interior, changing the inside becomes a priority. You can start now. Optional 7-day challenge. Eliminate negative news, late-night social media, and discouraging conversations. Twice daily, read and visualize. Mark a check each day. Assess your mental clarity, sleep, and small financial decisions. If you see progress, extend for 7 more days and add a concrete goal. You're not fighting age. You're rewriting the program that's driven decades of your life. The next chapter responds to the commands you repeat. There was a pivotal moment in my life, simpler than you might think. Debt-ridden, uninspired, feeling trapped in a cycle, in 1961, I encountered a book, Think and Grow Rich. I could have done what most do, thanked the universe and left it at that. But I made a decision. I'd study it daily. It was the first time I saw the transformative power of a genuine decision. How many decisions have you avoided, believing it was too late? At 55 plus, many believe starting anew is pointless. But as long as you live, one decision can change your trajectory. It doesn't matter how long you've been stuck. My decision, to read a book daily, was small, but it triggered transformations that changed my destiny. In under a year, my income soared from $4,000 to $175,000. It wasn't luck. It was the direct result of a conscious choice, an unwavering commitment to myself. People believe they can't change because they lack training, funds, or support. But what's really missing? The decision, not a superficial someday, but a soul-deep, irrevocable choice. It's when you say, "From today, I refuse to live this way." Think about how many times you started something and quit halfway. It wasn't a lack of ability, it was a lack of true commitment. A decision isn't about trying, it's about commitment. It's closing all doors but one, moving forward. Decisions shape destinies. It's not conditions, age, or resources, it's the decision. At 55 plus, you've likely seen how one choice changed your life. A job accepted, a relationship started, a city changed. A conscious choice now can mark a new beginning, regardless of what the world says. Imagine a firm, irreversible decision today. Perhaps it's changing your relationship with money, prioritizing your health, or finally pursuing a long-delayed dream. Feel the weight of that choice. Past doesn't dictate future. Everything can change in an instant. I felt I lacked what I needed, no training, money, or support. But when I decided on a new path, those things became less important. What was missing appeared along the way. The decision opens the door. Life provides the tools later. The question isn't if you can change after 55. It's, have you decided to change? Until you do, nothing changes. But the moment you decide, the universe seems to realign, opening paths. The subconscious doesn't distinguish between real and imaginary. It accepts everything as truth, especially when charged with emotion. That's why people spend decades repeating patterns. They obsess over debts, illness, and problems, and the subconscious interprets these as instructions. It doesn't judge, question, or reason. It creates behaviors and circumstances to match what has been planted repeatedly. How often did you imagine the worst before it happened, and it seemed to manifest? That's not coincidence. It's your mind at work. What you project with emotional intensity becomes reality. This same mechanism that creates fear and limitation can create health, prosperity, and opportunities. Look at history's greats. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb because he knew how it worked. He imagined lighting the world. The Wright brothers didn't fly because they had proof. They created a vivid image. Steve Jobs visualized pocket-sized devices when everyone said it was impossible. They weren't different. They used imagination consciously. Most people use this power against themselves. After 55, it's common to hear, "I'm too old, I'm tired, my opportunities are gone." Each repetition strengthens the subconscious image. They act tired, limited, and hopeless, and life delivers more of the same. I remember starting my first business. If I'd focused only on visible reality, I would have quit. No money, experience, or formal education. But nightly, I imagined offices, clients, a team, and the impossible started happening. It was as if the world was obeying a script I'd already rehearsed in my mind. Feeling stuck. Trading daily anxieties for a life of fulfilling dreams is closer than you think. Imagine waking up without financial worries, the freedom to choose your day, surrounded by upbeat, positive people. Picture it vividly, the clothes you wear, the sunshine on your face, the laughter around you. The clearer the image, the faster your subconscious accepts it as reality. Here's the challenge. For the next week, before bed, spend 5 minutes mentally crafting the life you crave. It doesn't have to be elaborate, just a clear picture, repeated daily, like a mindful meditation. Feel the joy as if it's already yours. Your subconscious doesn't distinguish between internal imagery and external reality. It works to align circumstances, opportunities, even people, to bring your vision to life. At 55 or beyond, you have a significant advantage: years of experience. You know what you don't want, making your vision sharper, more focused on what truly matters. By channeling this creative energy towards prosperity, well-being, and happiness, you'll discover it's never too late to live the life you deserve. Everything you experience today was once a mental image, consciously created or subconsciously absorbed. From now on, you choose what you cultivate, Embrace this new vision and the external world will adapt. Discipline, a word that can sound daunting, especially after 55, often conjures images of rigidity and sacrifice. But true discipline is liberating. It's self-mastery, saying I will and doing it even without feeling motivated, even when your mind seeks excuses. Simple yet powerful, because without discipline, nothing transforms. I learned this early on. Starting my cleaning business, I had every reason to quit. Grueling hours, slow profits, bone-tired days. Yet I committed to daily learning and application. Even exhausted, I read. Even discouraged, I sought inspiration. Discipline, not motivation, fueled my progress until results emerged. Many at 55 believe they lack energy or drive to start over. But it's not energy they lack, it's discipline. Discipline isn't about youth, it's about commitment. How many diets, exercise regimes, or courses have you started and abandoned, not from inability, but from lacking the discipline to persist after the initial enthusiasm waned? Over 55, you know motivation is fickle. One day energized, the next drained. But discipline is consistent, acting with or without desire. The magic is that results, when they come, reignite motivation, creating a virtuous cycle. Consider a daily 20-minute walk. Your body might initially resist, but with discipline, within weeks you'll feel more energetic, less pain, motivating you further. Apply this discipline to finances. Saving a small weekly amount builds security, something perhaps never achieved before. This alters your future perspective. I've seen ordinary people without exceptional talent or opportunities transform their lives through discipline, while others, intelligent, resourceful, and lucky, squandered everything through inconsistency. In any unsatisfactory area of your life, the cause wasn't lack of knowledge, but lack of discipline. And the good news? Discipline is trainable. Start small. 3 daily gratitude notes, weekly bill organization, a 10-minute walk. Consistency trumps size. Over time, this discipline expands, generating unimaginable strength. At 55 or beyond, your maturity brings wisdom. There are no shortcuts. Luck isn't planning. Waiting for the right circumstances yields nothing. Discipline is essential because it depends on no one but you. Remember, discipline isn't punishment. It's freedom. Freedom to choose how you live. Create your desired results, regardless of circumstances. The sooner you claim this power, the quicker you'll realize you can transform your life at any age. A silent belief plagues many over 55. The best is behind them. An invisible line supposedly separates youthful dreams from a mature acceptance of what remains. This is a fallacy. After 55, you can experience one of life's richest, fullest, most meaningful chapters. Think, how many anxieties from your 20s or 30s are irrelevant now? How many immense fears proved insignificant? Age doesn't limit. It clarifies, revealing what truly matters. Combining this clarity with a decision to change your paradigm, you'll create a chapter more powerful and fulfilling than any before. At 55 or beyond, you don't need to prove anything. You've carried responsibilities, worked hard, faced challenges. Use this experience to liberate yourself from what doesn't serve you. Constant financial worries, the belief that low energy is normal, the idea that only the young can start over. You can wake up energized, choose your relationships, shed the weight of debt. I remember a time when I believed life was working hard, paying bills, and hoping for better. But my life reflected my old paradigm, my childhood programming. When I realized I could change this program, my life shifted. I live without financial worry, work doing what I love, and most importantly, choose my companions. There's nothing more liberating. Is there still time? When was time ever truly within your grasp? Time isn't a barrier. It's a daily gift. The difference lies in how you use it. If you continue believing it's too late, you'll repeat the same patterns and limitations. But if you decide at 55 or beyond that this is a new beginning, you'll realize there's much to achieve, experience, and celebrate. Consider the countless individuals who found success after 50, 60, 70, not through luck or privilege, but because they refused to accept the lie that it was too late. They used each year as fuel. You can too. The secret is simple yet powerful. Shift your paradigm. Question decades-old beliefs. Replace images of limitation with images of freedom. Visualize yourself financially secure, waking up energized, surrounded by positive people. And above all, don't settle for less than you deserve. You're not here to merely survive, you're here to thrive. After 55, you aren't at the end, you're at a new beginning. And this new beginning can be the most incredible of your life, provided you take control of your mind and consciously choose what you want to create. The life you have now isn't due to chance, age, or luck, but the paradigm you've nurtured. Change that paradigm, and your reality will change. You have the power to rewrite your story, regardless of how many years have passed. Now, on to the next video. It awaits, ready to help you ascend another step on your journey of wisdom, becoming a little bit better than you are now. Thank you for being here, and see you in the next video.